Steve here with Table Rock Tea Company. This morning I will be replacing my old lawnmower blades for my Husqvarna zero-turn mower. I have a model Z454XS, and these blades have done me well. However, I will be replacing them with these. Essentially, these are replacement mini, I guess you could call them mini bush hog blades for lawnmowers, and they make them in all kinds of different styles for different mowers. The brand is called Meg-Mo. I don't know if you can see this right here, MEG-MO. But essentially, you bolt these on just like your regular blades, and instead of being a fixed blade, these swing just like a bush hog blade would. Now, why would you use that? Well, this is a different kind of application. You know, if you're watching this video and you are somebody in the suburbs with a nice kind of normal manicured lawn, this is not for you. But we're here in the country, and my lawn, so to speak, is a combination of just old farmland that has been converted, you know, to areas where it's now grass that I mow. It's very bumpy, it's got rocks, it's got roots, it's got all that kind of stuff. I chew through blades like crazy. But the other thing too is that on a fixed blade, if you don't understand how a bush hog works, let me explain that to you. So if you have a fixed blade with just a spindle that comes down from the mower, that goes straight to the motor, when that blade hits something, it just stops, and that whole thing is transferred right back up, and the whole thing stalls out. It is terrible for your machine, okay? Bad for your blades, that's one thing. I can go through blades, but the fact that it just transfers all of that stopped motion right up to the engine, boom, just stops everything. And so that's a horrible situation. And that can happen from time to time on lawns like mine. Again, we're in a rural area, so it's bumpy. It's not going to be a golf course, nothing like that. So these little guys, I had for years wanted a zero-turn bush hog, because even though, yes, it's rural, and even though it's not a pristine kind of lawn, we still have tight turns and spaces and all that kind of stuff, and a zero-turn mower is what we need. But I talked to bush hog actually over the years. Most of you know I'm an inventor. Man, they wouldn't give me the time of day. I said, you know, wouldn't it be great if we made some kind of zero-turn deck, you know, for a mower or whatever? They didn't want to hear anything about it. So, and then I came across this actually on, I think, a Facebook feed. This was at some trade show. They were demoing it. So I ordered a pair. Now, I will say this. These are very expensive, okay? A set of 3 of these cost me a little over $300. So you're talking about 100 a blade. Now they say that you get about 300 cutting hours out of this. You can go to their website and all that kind of stuff. We'll see. So I'm gonna put these on today, give them a go. I'll let you know what I think. Now, one thing I like to do when I'm using any kind of like an impact driver is I use this thread guard. I'll put a link to that in the description, but it keeps things from seizing up. It's essentially an anti-seize, and you just got a little paintbrush, and you paint it onto the threads like so. You don't need a ton of it, just a little bit, and that just kind of keeps things from seizing up. And you don't want to cold weld anything using an impact driver.
Okay, so here's what they look like installed under the mower deck. I've got 3 of them. I have hand spun them and made sure nothing is hitting any of the deck, and we should be good to go. Again, pay attention to the orientation of the blade. That sweep should be just like your regular mower blade, you know, with that sweep up kind of thing. They will also need to know the direction of which way your mower discharges, whether it's to the right or to the left, because that determines the spin.
One little side note, these are a bit terrifying when you get them. They're very heavy, and you can tell that they're going to have a lot of momentum when they start whipping around. So you want to make sure when you put them on your mower that you test sort of hand spin them first. Don't just fire up your mower, because if you somehow resize or missize these, you could pretty much destroy your whole deck. So you can see that these are the same size and length. What they do at Meg-Mo when you send in your sizes, they actually will ask you to measure the blade from corner to corner, like on a diagonal, you know, kind of like they do TV sort of thing. So you do from basically a diagonal from one side down to the other side, and that'll give you your actual blade length that they need, and then of course your whatever your spindle size is there. All right, now for the moment of truth. This thing is either going to spin nice and free, or it is going to be carnage. There were two things that surprised me about the Meg-Mo blades, and they both had to do with the flywheel effect. So one thing that I guess I didn't really think about was it takes a little bit more energy to crank up that blade on the mower, and I think it's a little bit of more of a strain on startup. So, you know, you're definitely going to want to have a semi-decently powerful mower to, you know, gear up that blade as it gets spinning. The other thing is that it really throws out the grass because of that, again, that flywheel effect. It's almost like a slingshot kind of thing. So those were two things that I was not expecting. All right, y'all, so this is what I'm talking about when I say that our lawn is rough, okay? All these roots and everything like that, but I want to show you, I've been on this mower now for about 5 minutes. Let me show you what it already has done. So this is a pretty chunky area that I always roam over, but look at this. I always hit these roots. Usually you hear a kind of a, you know, with my mower. This thing actually ripped the root out of the ground and chucked it all the way over here. So much more like a bush hog for sure. The big question, of course, is how does it cut? You know, we don't want it to just be a total rough cut like a bush hog. So behind me, I did my first pass. These, of course, are our tea plants in the background. But let me show you a little more close-up on how it cuts. So I don't know if you can see this because of the sun, but to the right is where I've mowed. To the left is yet to be mowed. And really, actually, a nice cut. There's 3 blades running, so you don't see any, you know, weird, like different levels between the blades or whatever. And it does cut all the way out to the edge of the deck. So I'm impressed with it. Pretty cool. So the big question everybody is asking, all right, is the Meg-Mo blade system good, bad? What's my opinion? Is it worth it? Well, a couple of things. First of all, does it work? Definitely. Is it expensive? Definitely. Is it worth the cost? I would say it is, depending on your situation. So again, if you're like me, where you have a lot of acreage, a lot of it's under grass, but it is not pristine. It was just cleared land that's roots and rocks and all that, but you're still trying to do a lawn. I would say a country lawn, definitely it's for that kind of thing. So this is not a paid endorsement by any means, but Meg-Mo, if you guys are listening, I would, you know, if you feel like sponsoring, you can send me an extra set of replacement blades. That'd be pretty awesome. But again, this is not a sponsored video by them. But I will suggest that they should probably ship it from the company a little sharper. The blades were not incredibly sharp, and I am noticing that. So this is going to give you much more of a bush hog cut than a finishing mower cut. And what we're looking for is really something in between, right? Probably what I will end up doing is sharpening the blades on this, and otherwise it's really good. I've hit a bunch of roots and rocks that I know would have in the past stopped this mower, and kind of went right over it. So I'm pretty happy about that. So I don't feel like there's anything you could get into where you would damage the spindle. It's basically whether or not the deck and chassis of your mower can handle it. The blades certainly will. So that's my assessment. I think they're good. I think they're expensive. I think they have a very particular lane of use, and if you're in that lane, these could very well be blades for you. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see what else is brewing here at Table Rock Tea Company.